Can I just get these free, please? You want free of the same game? Yeah, I want free of the same game. Why do you want free of the same game? Because it's the best game ever! Resident Evil 4 is considered my favorite game of all time. But everybody has opinions, so not everyone will agree. However, I figure if you have at least tried the game, or maybe even beat it, you could agree with my points, or even also think that Resident Evil 4 is the greatest game of all time. We will mainly be focusing about the original. I like the remake and the original equally, but I feel that there are several differences between the two, so they both deserve different videos. Today we will only be focusing the original, like I said. This game has took place in its release year, 2005, the main protagonist being Leon S. Kennedy, which is personally my favorite Resident Evil character. He's sent to look for the president's daughter, but there are several obstacles in his way. He jumps between three different maps, or places you could say: the village, the castle, and the island. He also spends some time in the sewers or on the ground if you want to count that as another place. This game is satisfying with how many guns and firepower you can use. Loud crowds, use a shotgun or a TMP. If fully maxed out TMP, you can just run right through most crowds during the game. This game also has many cool bosses like Salazar, a little guy that turns into a beast in the original game. He has made me die a few times because of how difficult that he can be sometimes, but it's alright. Final boss, Sadler, is also awesome because he's decently strong, although just an RPG to the face will pretty much just finish him off, and according to how much damage you've done, will just kill him instantly. But he's still a cool boss. Something else that's cool is how many places you can play this game. I've played this game on the PS2, GameCube, Wii, Xbox. You can find this game literally anywhere. Hell, you can play this game in virtual reality on the PSVR or an Oculus Quest. Now, why do I like this game so much? It's mainly because it's the easiest game to sit down and enjoy in the Resident Evil series. This game's pacing is very good and it'll keep you on your feet most of the time. There's very little slowing down pacing times in this game, and this game is very easy to sit down and play for several hours on end sometimes. Recently, back-to-back days, I've beat Resident Evil 4 on the Switch and Xbox just because of how fun and enjoyable it is. It's easy to get into this game, unlike Resident Evil 2. Now, hear me out. I love Resident Evil 2, even at one point being my favorite Resident Evil game. However, it's more slower paced and more horror style than Resident Evil 4's fast paced action and horror genre. So that's why I could see myself playing Resident Evil 4 more than other Resident Evil games. In conclusion, if I were to make a proper conclusion, it would sound something like this. I only just got into Resident Evil in 2023. My family has always liked and owned Resident Evil games, especially my brother. I know he played Resident Evil 4 very early on into his childhood, I'm pretty sure. He's also the reason I got into Resident Evil. As a whole, I'm very glad that he told me to just go ahead and buy Resident Evil 4 and try it. Now, after beating almost every Resident Evil game, I still say Resident Evil 4 is the best Resident Evil game I've ever played because I still see myself playing it every single day. I also really just like Leon as a character. I like his lore and how he is as a whole. And I'm super excited for Requiem, or Resident Evil 9, you could call it, that's taking place where Resident Evil 2 took, the RPD, in Raccoon City. I would love in the future to talk about more Resident Evil games, but for now, this is my commentary about Resident Evil 4 and why it's my favorite game ever made, and I'll see you guys later. Something I actually forgot to mention was the Resident Evil Wii edition. The motion controls in this game are badass. Like if you have an enemy on you, you can shake off to get freed from him. Stuff like that makes the game so much better. Where you actually have to aim to shoot makes the game so much better and so more immersive playing this version. That's why I like this version probably the most out of all of them, not gonna lie.